The Sonic movie trailer has been revealed to the people at CinemaCon.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
A quick shout out to King Crispy Rue, one of my Discord server users, and they drew me a couple pictures of Metal Duckles, so take a look at them over here. It's looking pretty lit, I must say, so thank you so much for this. I especially love how you drew the duck beak in particular. Really captures the energy of Metal Duckles, so thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. Well, anyway, hello there beautiful human. My name is RidersDX and welcome to my channel, where today, if you couldn't already guess, we've got another Sonic movie video today, and I know it's been very soon since I uploaded the last one, which wasn't even like a real Sonic movie video. Yeah, just to clarify, that is an April Fool's joke, so don't take anything in that video seriously. But in this video, this is very much serious, and this is definitely not an April Fool's joke. You see, it looks like we've gotten the unveiling of the Sonic movie trailer, except we can't actually see it. Okay, so what actually happened is that there's this convention called CinemaCon, and the whole Sonic movie cast took a trip out to the convention and they showed off 2 trailers of the Sonic movie to the audiences there. Unfortunately, we have no pictures and no footage of the actual trailer. I think there was some kind of like agreement that like there can be no leaks whatsoever of the footage that was shown there, so there's no way for us to see what that footage was, unfortunately, at this time. But I have the feeling that that footage is coming out before we even know it, you know? It's any day now, in my opinion. I mean, they might still wait till May or June like I was originally thinking, just because the movie's not coming out till November. But the fact that we're seeing some footage kind of going around already at CinemaCon makes me think that they might be planning to show the footage a little bit earlier. So that'll be very interesting. So even though we don't have any actual footage or screenshots of the trailer, we did get a lot of commentary from the people that were there to see it. So we're gonna go through a couple articles, some tweets here and there, and some footage that we got at the convention to kind of just get an overall sense of what the general perception is when it comes to this trailer. And I know everyone's very curious as to what makes up this trailer, what were some things that were in there, and yeah. So I got a few articles I pulled up here, so let me just kind of start going through them. This first one comes from a website named slashfilm.com. So apparently this was written by someone that was there at the trailer unveiling, and this includes a lot of details about the first trailer and I think the second trailer too. So let me kind of go through this article and see what they've got to say. So how did Sonic the Hedgehog and his thick gams look? Not great. The visual look of Sonic himself appears to be somewhat similar to Detective Pikachu's Pikachu, with an emphasis on the fur, but visually it's a bit lackluster. Character design isn't this film's strong point. So by lackluster, I wonder if they just mean underwhelming rather than like shocking. So that might be something in terms of what they meant. Now in the second paragraph, they actually go through some details of the first trailer. The footage opened with Sonic zooming by James Marsden's cop character, who clocks the blue speedster at around 700 miles per hour on his radar gun. From there, we learn a bit about the mythology of the movie. The rings that were all over the game serve as teleportation devices here. Sonic is in our world, asking Marsden to help him save his planet, so I guess Sonic is an alien here? Oh, and I should mention that we see Sonic speeding down the highway listening to the song Gangsta's Paradise, because of course that happens in this movie. Okay, so first of all, we gotta mention the fact that Gangsta's Paradise is playing in this trailer. That means Dreamcast guy was right about the leaked footage, and I know the thumbnail kind of made it seem like I didn't believe him, but if you actually watched the video, I kind of came to the conclusion that he was probably telling the truth. So yeah, I had a feeling that he was, just kind of based on like what I was watching and the way that he was explaining things. It just seemed like that he was telling the truth. So looks like that is the case, and we can kind of take his word for it in terms of like what he was able to remember from the trailer. Now some other interesting things mentioned here in this paragraph is that Sonic is apparently from another planet. So he's not from another dimension here, he's from another planet, and so I guess he's just an alien. What I find really interesting though is the fact that the rings are serving as teleportation devices. I wonder what that means, and it probably has some significance significance in the plot. Maybe Dr. Robotnik kind of discovers the power of these rings and starts utilizing them to kind of, I don't know, take over the world, I guess, because that's what Dr. Robotnik does. Speaking of Dr. Robotnik, the next paragraph talks a little bit about him, so let's take a look. Meanwhile, the evil Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey in a mustache, is also on the prowl. Carrey's scenes are incredibly over the top and painfully unfunny. The look of Carrey's character starts off odd, but slowly transforms into something similar to the way Robotnik look in the games. Speaking of the games, the footage packed in several visual elements pulled right from them, but is that enough to bring in fans? Ooh. So this is interesting because I've been hearing a lot of positive reception about Jim Carrey's performance in the trailer so far. This is the first time I'm actually seeing something that's a little bit negative, but I don't know. This whole article overall seems kind of negative about the movie, so kind of have to take that into account. But it looks like they're pulling elements from the games and putting that into the trailer, so I wonder what elements those are specifically. We'll have to kind of wait until we actually see the trailer to kind of get a look at that. One thing is painfully clear from this footage: Sonic the Hedgehog is not going to have as much hype as Detective Pikachu. Sorry, Sonic. I beg to differ personally. I think this movie is going to have as much hype, you know, maybe not as much hype as Detective Pikachu, but I think it's going to still be pretty damn close because there's so much talk and chatter about this movie right now. It's insane, you know. Whether that hype is good or bad hype is kind of irrelevant. This movie definitely has a lot of hype behind it. And that's pretty much it for this article. There wasn't really anything else there, but there were definitely some interesting details kind of thrown in there. Now here's another article that I pulled directly from Deadline, which is a pretty official article that reports on a lot of TV and movie news. So in this article, they talk a little bit more about Jim Carrey. So here's what the article says. Carrey arrived eating popcorn sloppily and dropping it on stage before throwing it at the audience. He then hugged Parr's domestic distribution boss, Kyle Davies. "I like to see you save the best for last in the trailer, but this crowd deserves a real taste of what a real star vehicle is like," Carrey said. "I am Dr. Robotnik, one of the most intelligent men who have ever walked the earth. It's basically my origin story." Then he was told, said Carrey by Davies, "Sonic is really the star." "Been there, done that. This movie is nothing without me," corrected Carrey, who also suggested possible new titles. "How about Robotnik Conquers the World, Eggman Hard Boiled?" I think that's funny. I would totally go see that movie. The second trailer, which Carrey introduced, shows a comeback for his hysterics on screen as Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik, a super genius with a big black mustache who argues with the army in James Marsden's Cop. I do know that Dr. Robotnik starts off as like being a good guy, I guess, or like maybe just like a neutral guy, so I'm guessing that's where that scene is from, you know, kind of before Dr. Robotnik becomes who he is. "I was spitting out formulas when you were spitting up formulas," Carrey's Robotnik tells the cop. "I was breastfed," Marsden answers in the trailer. I don't know how I feel about that line. It just sounds weird. Like, I don't really get what he means by "I was spitting out formulas" when you were spitting up formulas. Oh wait, spitting up? Yeah, I still don't get it. I guess, I don't know. If anyone can kind of explain that line to me, then that'd be great. But it just seems kind of like a weird joke, especially for a children's movie. But yeah, those are a few more details about the second trailer and a specific line from the trailer, which is it's a very interesting line, that's for sure. I don't know if I like that very much. I just don't think it's that funny, but I'm willing to give it a chance. You know, Jim Carrey is you know, iconic actor, so I'm hoping that there's better jokes in the movie. But now what we're gonna do is gonna go into this article from TSSZ where they show off some tweets from some people that were at CinemaCon. So let's take a look at some of the things that people are saying about the trailer. This one comes from JoeBlow.com. "Got a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer focusing on Sonic teaming up with James Marsden to fight Dr. Robotnik, and then got a Jim Carrey centered version of the trailer where he seems to be back in comedic form. He may well be the best selling point on this one." You see, here's someone here that actually really liked Jim Carrey's rendition in this trailer compared to the first article I mentioned where people didn't. So it might be a polarizing performance actually, so that'd be interesting. Here's another tweet from someone named Jermaine Lucier. "We just saw Sonic the Hedgehog footage. Sonic is basically like 4 feet tall and naked, which looks way less creepy than it sounds. The movie has a Michael Bay Transformers look and feel to it." I don't know who Michael Bay is, but I'm assuming when they say Transformers, it's a Transformers movie, so I don't know. Well, if anyone can kind of explain that to me, then that'd be great. Paramount then played a second trailer, which was Dr. Robotnik eccentric. Jim Carrey is playing Ace Ventura but smart. He's got hair and handlebar mustache, but it ended with him in full bald red suit glasses glory. So I don't know who Ace Ventura is, but it's kind of cool to see that in the trailer we'll get to see how like Dr. Robotnik actually looks like in his classic suit. So that'll be very interesting to see. Here's another tweet from a Twitter account named Television Movies. It works. When you see the footage, you're going to love it. There's a possibility of creating a cinematic universe, but the tone seems too family friendly for my taste, but nevertheless I want to see Shadow. Ooh. So this is someone that seems to really enjoy the trailer. So, you know, there's a lot of diverse opinions here. Now, here's a tweet from Eric Davis, who actually put a quote from the movie in there. Look at this. I logged 9 million steps today. 2 teasers for Sonic the Hedgehog. One introduces Sonic and the other Dr. Robotnik. Definite old school Jim Carrey here. He is definitely nuts in the movie. It looks cute. Huge Sonic fan growing up, so I'm down. So this is another person that seems pretty on board with it. So, you know, I just have to say, there's a lot of diverse and different opinions here. But overall, most of the perception seems kind of positive, you know, from what I'm gathering. Like, some people are obviously still not going to be happy with it, but overall people seem like somewhat satisfied with the movie from everything I'm reading. So that does make me feel pretty good. You know, I think people are going to warm up to this movie. You know, obviously you're still going to have a lot of fans, especially like maybe really intense Sonic fans that are not going to get this movie no matter what happens to it, but it definitely seems like the movie is not going to be as bad as like some people may have thought. So that is pretty good to know. Now, there were also some interviews done with the cast on the red carpet at CinemaCon, and they don't really say too many interesting things, to be honest. There's nothing like I really found particularly like revealing. However, there was one thing that I really liked, and that was from Jim Carrey's interview, where he said that playing Dr. Robotnik was basically playing someone who's basically dumb because of his ego or something like that. Well, here's the actual clip because Jim Carrey explains it way better than I do.
To me, one of the funniest and most fun things that a person can play in comedy is intelligence screwed up by ego. You know, when it moves over the line into spiritual stupidity.
Yes.
You know, and yet he's the most intelligent person in the world.
Yeah.
You know, so it's wonderful, and it took me a couple of weeks to prepare for.
Really?
Yeah, you know.
Also, I just need to mention this, but James Marsden has the most dreamy eyes ever. Oh my gosh, I'm actually falling in love. This is amazing. Okay, but in a nutshell, that's basically everything I was able to gather about the review today. Obviously, we don't actually have any actual footage or pictures of the real trailer, but I have a feeling that's coming really soon. You know, we're already getting so much news about it. There's a lot of buzz on the internet about this. It's really just a matter of time. You know, time is moving forward. The movie's coming closer. It's only going to be a matter of time before we actually get the real trailer. So I'm hyped. I'm excited to kind of see what it is and finally just satisfy my curiosity. Like, it's felt like such a long journey at this point that I think once that movie trailer comes out, it's just going to answer a whole bunch of questions that people have been having forever now. So I'm looking forward to finally getting that, and I do hope I like it. We'll have to see if I like it or not, but some of the reception sounds pretty good, so I'm gonna stay optimistic. But what do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm really interested in hearing what you all think about everyone's comments about the movie trailers right now. And also, if this is just a reminder, but I'm running a contest right now on my Discord server. If you want a chance to request a video from me on any topic of your choosing, then head on over to my Discord server right now and take a look at the clues on what my secret video is. If you can figure out what my secret video is and post it in the appropriate channel, then you will get a chance to request a video from me on any topic in the world. And I know some of you really want this because I get video requests from people every single day that I ignore. So if you want that chance, then definitely head on over to the Discord server and start guessing. But okay, everyone, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, want to see more in the future. Follow me on Twitter, RidersDX, or join my Discord server, the Spongy Garden. Now this is Riders, riding out.